The research station drifted above the twilight side of Visara 9, a pale blue world wrapped in electrical storms. Inside Laboratory Theta 4, the brightest minds of 7 species watched the screens flicker with something no one expected, a pair of human genomes, doing something impossible. Sarah stood in the center of the lab, her arms crossed but her expression calm. She was a xenobiologist from Earth, invited to Visara for her clarity of thought and famously steady nerves. Beside her, Jack leaned on a crystalline console, trying not to grin. He wasn't a scientist. He was a field operative, assigned mostly to keep Sarah safe in alien territories. But he had a habit of showing up exactly where chaos was highest. Tonight, chaos had taken the form of a gene strand. Dr. Ratal, the insectoid chief geneticist, buzzed their wings in alarm. The sequence is responding, they said, as if it recognizes something. Sarah leaned closer. On the floating holodisplay, 2 spiraling human DNA strands glowed with faint pulses. But the pulses weren't random, they formed patterns, almost rhythmic. It looks like movement, Sarah murmured. Jack chuckled. What, like a heartbeat? No, she whispered. Like footsteps. The screen chimed. The lab's AI lit up in bright gold. Analysis complete. Query generated. Why does the human genome retain patterns consistent with ambush hunting? Every scientist froze. Dr. Ratal lifted all 4 of their eyes. Ambush hunting in DNA? That is not scientifically coherent. Oh, it's coherent, Jack said. Humans used to hunt everything that moved. Sarah ignored him, her mind spinning. Human DNA shouldn't retain behavioral memory. That's impossible unless something ancient had encoded survival instincts far deeper than any species expected, the AI continued. Secondary query. Why did the human genome activate? These patterns when brought into proximity with predator DNA? Sarah stiffened. Wait, what predator DNA? Dr. Ratal extended a trembling limb toward a sealed container. Inside was a coil of shimmering black tissue, the genetic material of the feared Zyran Leviathan. A superpredator from the deep oceans of Via Sarah-9. We were running a comparison test, the doctor admitted. It was routine. But when we placed the Leviathan genome nearby, the human DNA reacted spontaneously. Jack's grin faded. Reacted how? The AI's answer was immediate. The human genome shifted into a pattern indicating primal readiness, behavioral interpretation, prepared to hunt. Jack raised a brow. Wait, you're telling me that human DNA wants to hunt this thing? He pointed at the monstrous coil of black tissue. Yes, the AI replied. Yes, Sarah echoed, but her tone was not fear. It was wonder. Something moved in the lab. A hum? A vibration? The Leviathan tissue pulsed faintly inside its container, as if something deep within recognized the shift in the human strands. Dr. Ratal backed away. This is not acceptable. The Leviathan should be inert. It cannot sense anything. But it did. The pulse quickened, and the human genome pulsed in rhythm with it. Jack stepped forward. Sarah, tell me what's happening. She swallowed. Something ancient. Something evolutionary. Humans? Humans didn't just learn to hunt. We evolved to adapt to predators. Our instincts are buried so deep that even our DNA responds. The AI chimed again. The Leviathan genome is attempting to initiate a dominance response. What does that mean? Jack asked. Dr. Ratal shivered. It means the predator recognizes a rival. The lights dimmed. The containment field flickered. Sarah's voice dropped. Jack, we need to stabilize. But the Leviathan tissue lashed like a whip, striking the container walls. The field sparked. A crack appeared. Every alarm in the lab screamed to life. Containment breach imminent. The AI roared. The Leviathan biomass thrashed again. Glass fractured. Jack didn't wait. He grabbed a shock spear from the emergency rack and yanked Sarah behind him. Everyone out. But Sarah stepped forward instead, staring at the DNA strands on the screen. They were pulsing faster, responding not to danger, but anticipation. The AI spoke. Nearly whispering, human genome is activating full recursive memory, behavioral tag, hunt mode. Jack blinked. Sarah, what does that mean for you? It means, she said softly, that if humans were ever prey, we never accepted it. With a sound like tearing metal, the Leviathan broke free, a mass of dark, semi-organic muscle surged toward the room, tendrils whipping, snapping at the air. Jack braced, spear raised, but Sarah didn't flinch. Jack, she said sharply. Step aside. He hesitated. Sarah, now. He stepped aside, and Sarah walked forward. The Leviathan lunged. But the moment its tendril touched the air around her, it recoiled as though struck. Not by force, by recognition, the creature's internal electric pulses stuttered. Sarah's heartbeat slowed. Her eyes sharpened. Her posture shifted into something old, something no civilized species had seen humans do in 1,000 generations. She moved like a hunter, not with hostility, but with absolute confidence. Jack stared. Sarah, what are you doing? Speaking the only language it understands. The Leviathan's mass quivered. Dominant signals flickered through the air, biological frequencies meant to intimidate prey. Sarah's presence answered with a calm, ancient rhythm, steady and unwavering. A rhythm as old as campfires and stone spears. Dr. Ratal whispered, impossible. Humans are not apex predators. Jack smirked faintly. You sure about that? The Leviathan let out a low vibration, not a challenge but a submission tone. The tendrils lowered. The creature shrank back, folding into itself like a beast bowing to a superior. Sarah exhaled slowly. It recognizes us, she murmured. Humans weren't just hunters. We were competitors. Our ancestors fought anything. And everything. Jack stepped to her side, eyes wide with the kind of admiration he rarely showed. So what now? Sarah looked at the trembling Leviathan. Now it knows we're not prey. The AI hummed in awe. Conclusion? The human genome retains primal behavioral memory because humans were never meant to run. The Leviathan's tendrils slowly wrapped around Sarah's offered hand. Not in attack, but in acknowledgement. In the lab's quiet, every species present understood something monumental. Humans were not dangerous because they were violent. Humans were dangerous because they remembered, and the galaxy would never see them the same way again.